to the bold analysis. Just 2 months after, 2 years rather, after the election, the political cards are emerging. And after months of asking for forgiveness, the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua would finally find an opportunity to share a platform with former President Uhuru Kenyatta and Mama Ngina and also other leaders, including a host of other Azimio leaders. This exclusive information has come at the wrong time for President Ruto, because it's a very complicating, it's a very delicate time, especially for the ruling coalition. And I want you to understand this. Do you remember in December last year, that was in 2023, Muthai Kiengei, who is a clergy and also a radio host in one of the Kikuyu stations, was in a church, in his church, and called President Ruto, and President Ruto even promised the residents there 1 million just for them to celebrate Christmas. I don't know whether I want you to remember this call.
Mtu wa maana nataka kuwasalimia. Are you ready? Mko tayari? Mutashangilia? Kabisa? Mutashangilia? Aya, munane andu akumea hamagairie.
Murega andu aroiro. Murega ringi. Pastor wanyu wakihurira thimu anjira neima na igongona ria thiguku. Ni aramwitite ati agiteithia aria matarehota kahinda-ini gaka ga thiguku. Akihurira thimu akinjira kana no ndikimwikiririe, ndakimwira nie ndigigitigania andu aitu no kanyamu karia nani ndinako ningumwikiriria. Akemura nengo mujareria milioni imwe ne kibura metu.
Aya, tutulia rais amalize.
Mukira thimu na thiguku na ciana cianyu, Ngai atutaithie na agitutongorie mathina maya twina mo magitweherere. Githe tiguo yeno ndikiugire murathimo na nituriuka kuhoya hamwe na inyuĩ muthenya ũmwe. Asante sana, Mungu awabariki, Mungu awalinde na familia zenu.
Asante sana, Your Excellency.
Asante.
Wapi nduru ya Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta? Wow.
So after this, something happened later on that Uhuru Kenyatta has been close to Muthai Kiengei and has been a very close associate of that church. That money was actually delivered. Now this same church later on, I think there are also some prayers where they were crying and they were saying that Uhuru to forgive them. I think those videos were all over here. Now Muthai Kiengei is supposed to be, there is supposed to be an event of ordination, of his ordination as a bishop on Friday. And I just want to get the right information here because that widely been shared, yes, by TR Mwas. So it's supposed to be ordinated as a bishop, and this is the juicy news. DP Gachagua, retired President Uhuru Kenyatta, Mama Ngina, and former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka and George Ntembea to be chief guests during the ordination ceremony of Bishop Benson Kamau Gathungu aka Gukawa Nairobi, Muthee Kiengei of JSM Church, this Friday, 21st of June 2024. And I've tried to verify is that the information was Muthee Kiengei himself hinted while he was speaking in the live show in the radio station during is actually his live show there, and he's saying that he's expecting all those leaders, Uhuru Kenyatta, Mama Ngina, former President Uhuru Kenyatta, Mama Ngina, the Trans Nzoia Governor Natembeya, Kalonzo Musyoka, and a host of other Azimio leaders that are supposed to grace the event. So we are really looking at this, and this has come at a time when I can tell you it's very complex. This will be a platform to shake hands, to reconcile, and the fact that they've chosen to meet. Remember, it has to take the acceptance of Ruto, of Uhuru Kenyatta and both Rigathi Gachagua and the other parties to ensure that they are brought together. But it can be disguised as a church service. There's so many other church events that have been going on in Mount Kenya, and so it's not just a coincidence that they are meeting there. That meeting is not by coincidence. Mama Ngina has been a very strong pillar, and in terms of, I think Kenyatta family has been a strong pillar on supporting the church, especially I think that was the Catholic. They even established a church around the Kiambu area, around their place, the rural village. So it's also coming in, and of course making a public appearance will be it. Rigathi Gachagua had been asking for forgiveness, and first he woke up in the morning, called when he was interviewed by some Kikuyu stations, he asked Mama Ngina to forgive him. He asked former President Uhuru Kenyatta to forgive him. And then Mount Kenya said no. Some Mount Kenya senior members, elders said no. You don't need to apologize in the radio stations. Just go out in the rallies where you insulted Kenyatta family to apologize. And he outwardly went out and even apologized to the former president. And recently over the weekend, you'll then understand why Rigathi was speaking this way in Nyeri.
Tunalalamika. Nimeona Duale akiunganisha Waharia. Sisi tukiungana kwa nini wanakasirika? Letado rere. Momenye hinya wito na oro mwake. Hinya wito na oro mwake. Sisi watu ya Mlima Kenya tunajua hasara ya kutenganishwa. Mwaka wa 1992 sisi tangu tujue umuhimu ya kuungana hatujatoka nje ya serikali. Kuna watu wengine wa hapa kwetu wanatutisha sisi ati tukiungana tutatoka nje ya serikali. Sisi tunaungana ndio tukae ndani ya serikali kesho kutwa na miaka ijao. Na wale wanataka tusiungane, wanataka kutenga sisi nje ya serikali. Na sisi lazima tuungane ndio tukue na nguvu ya kuongea na rais na kukata keti ya Kenya ifike hapa. Tumekubaliana? Tumekubaliana? Sasa mimi nauliza, sisi hapa katika Mlima Kenya tulipatia president 87%. Kweli ama uongo? Mimi nimesema hiyo 13% tukiongozwa na Rais Uhuru Kenyatta mtoto wetu, niunganishe kila mtu tukue kitu kimoja. Sasa wananipiga mimi ate niko na ukabila kwa sababu nimesema Uhuru Kenyatta ni mtoto wetu, tuungane pamoja. Iko makosa nimefanya? Iko makosa? Mimi niliangalia, na mimi si mjinga. Wasifikiria mimi ni mjinga. Sisi tulichukia Uhuru Kenyatta mtoto wetu. Hakuna makosa alifanya isipokuwa kutuletea Raila Odinga. Kweli ama uongo? Tukampiga.
And so, it's happening at a very critical context. Remember, Uhuru had even confronted William Ruto a week earlier about the parks. And after that press briefing by Kanzedena, Uhuru himself made a call, not Uhuru, William Ruto himself made a call to the former president to ensure, and even a team was formed to ensure that that story doesn't go beyond that press briefing. Kanzadena came out fuming about this, and there were also questions on what exactly is emboldening them. Remember, they had been quiet. For example, security details of Mama Ngina had been withdrawn, were withdrawn last year, and they were all quiet throughout. And I think until now they decided to speak out, and William Ruto made a call. Allegedly, they spoke with Uhuru Kenyatta, and the matter was to be addressed. Ruto is desperately seeking a political truce with Raila. So all these developments are here, and that is why the fact that they will come out to share podium cannot be taken lightly. I can say it cannot be taken lightly. And this will be the first time when, if all of them will accept, this will be the very first time that they will share podium after the 2022 general elections. Remember, some other people that have also been involved there, have also been said to be attending, is Natembeya. Natembeya is not a usual figure around Uhuru Kenyatta. Yes, towards the tail end of Uhuru Kenyatta's tenure, when he was fired, I don't know if he was fired or whether he resigned, when he resigned, yes, he resigned as the RC, Regional Commissioner, Rift Valley Commissioner in Nakuru, was based in Nakuru. Uhuru Kenyatta absorbed him back in government and was, worked in State House some time. Until then, he resigned and went to vie for, he actually also went to vie for Rift Valley seat. Now, you will also be keen to understand that Natembeya has been running a Tawe movement. The Tawe movement is fashioned as anti-Musalia and Wetangula movement. And he's been running a message in that area, in that region, telling them that it's time for them to shun, to avoid the Wetangula and the Musalia Mudavadi. And that also, and remember, we've been asking, so what exactly is Natembeya up to? Because number one, Natembeya is seeking governorship and he wants re-election. But what is the hula baloo, or what has triggered this discussion? What triggered that discussion about Mount Kenya unity? He's been pushing some Mount Kenya unity, and we've been talking about, is he a Ruto project, is it a Rigathi project, or who? There's been that discussion whether he's working in the interest of someone. He's also being brought here, and of course going to Mount Kenya. I'm a bit, someone might really have to help me understand here. Natembeya, of all the people, no any other people have also been involved. So that one is from Western. Where did he pick Bungoma governor? Lusaka. Lusaka is Uhuru Kenyatta's personal friend, by the way. Lusaka is Uhuru's personal friend amongst those Western governors. Lusaka is not in the fold. The other person that has also been called is Kalonzo Musyoka. And of course, when you ask Kalonzo, you bring through the Azimio fold, you will expect a Karua and probably Eugene Wamalwa there. But what has been confirmed is Kalonzo Musyoka. Kalonzo is also seeking presidency under the Azimio la Umoja, or even if it is through Wiper or so. Rigathi Gachagua is having troubles within the UDA. And so what is in the cooking and what is in the making? Raila Odinga would not be part of this. And if Raila doesn't attend, if Raila is not in it, or even it doesn't send a representative or so, then there will be a very clear message that that is a different camp. That camp is not aligned, is not politically well aligned to William Ruto, and that's why Raila Odinga will not go there, because Raila needs Ruto's vote for that AUC chairperson bid. And by that I can tell you, if Raila fails to get that seat, he will come back here and join the local politics and campaign and join the movement if there will be any sort of movement going on. So just looking at the guests, and it's an event that is going to be in Mount Kenya, you'll really get to understand that it's not a small thing. This event is a very big event. I was just listening to Mutheki Nge when they were talking about this somewhere. I think this was somewhere in Nakuru, and it will really show you that the planning, this will be a very big a platform.
Na kwa sababu ya mambo yale yanaenda kufanyika katika nchi yetu ya Kenya, kwa sababu ya Bishop elect Ben Kamau, tumempokea vizuri hapa Nakuru. Tunaamini kwamba Mungu anaenda kumtumia Kenya kuleta tofauti katika nchi yetu. Na wakati Mungu anainua mtu, hakuna mtu anafaa kumpinga. Na kwa hivyo tarehe 21 ambao ni wiki ijayo, itakuwa ni Friday, sote tunaelekea JCM Nairobi kwa sababu ya kutawazwa ama consecration ya Bishop Ben. Na kwa hivyo sisi tunamtakia mema hapa Nakuru kama wachungaji na kama community ya Nakuru na marafiki, na tunasema ya kwamba hili ni jambo njema na tunamuombea mema, nawe Bishop tofauti Kenya nzima, atakayeheshimika na Mungu na serikali na Wakenya. Mungu abariki sana mnapokuja. Si tumejipanga Nakuru, tunajipanga kusafiri. Tutatoka hapa mapema sana. Wanasema mapema ndio best. Na kwa hivyo Nakuru tumeungana, tuko mpaka na mapastors chairman ambao tuko na wao. Kanisa limejipanga, limempokea Bishop elect Ben, na pia marafiki, watu wa biashara. Sote tunajipanga. Ukitaka kuungana nasi, kuna watu unaweza kuwapata, kina Jack, kina Alex, kina Elias. Dama atakuwa na handle the women wakiwa na Pastor Joan na Penina hapa Nakuru, ili wamama wajipange tuende pamoja, wazee tunajipanga pamoja. Kwa hivyo kama ungetaka kwenda, tunachukua matatu moja, tutawaambia ni ipi, tuende pamoja ili tukaweze kusherehekea. Asanteni.
Watu wazuri walikuwa wameisha, lakini leo nimejua kwamba watu wa maana bado wanaishi, na nimetatia bidii kwa sababu nimeona kumbe kuna watu wanaotazama ninachofanya. Might be ningeona ya kwamba watu hawaone kile ninafanya, lakini nimeona ya kwamba kuna watu ambao wanaona kile ninafanya na wanafurahia vile mtoto wao wanafanya pale Nairobi. Kwa hivyo ningependa kusema mimi nimefurahia leo kupokea baraka, kupokea maombi, kupokea msaada, kupokea zawadi kutoka kwa watu wetu wa Nakuru. Na ninapoenda kufanyika askofu na Nairobi, nitarudi tu hapa nyumbani kuambia watu wa nyumbani asanti ya kwamba mtoto wa Nakuru ameenda Nairobi na Mungu amemfanya kitu. Ningependa kuambia watoto wenzangu wa Nakuru, usione ndoto yako na maono yako kama yataishia tu hapa. Kuna mahali kwingine tumegojewa. Watu watie bidii, tuwe waaminifu, na zaidi ya yote tudumishe heshima, sababu ukiangalia hapa nina wazee wakubwa mji huu, nina wazee ambao wameheshimika mji huu, lakini hata nilipotoka hapa nilizidi kuheshimu. Kwa hivyo heshima kuna mahali inapeleka mtu, hata ingawa Mungu atakupeleka mbali, pia nayo ukitumisha heshima, heshima itakurudisha nyumbani ukiwa mtu wa kuheshimika. Tuone barabara zinainuka, tuone shule zetu zinaendelea, tuone dawa katika hospitali zetu, tuone NHIF zetu zikifanya kazi, tuone watoto wakipewa chanjo wakati unaofaa, sio kutoa ushuru alafu unasikia kwamba hata tuna loan ya chanjo. Hakuna chanjo inafika, watoto kama wamechelewa, wamezaliwa, wametoka hospitali, tunaenda tunasikia kama gazeti la Alhamisi ilikuwa linasema kwamba chanjo ndio zimefika, watoto wanatafutwa. Ushuru tutatoa, lakini tukitoa ushuru nayo serikali ifanye maendeleo, tuone maendeleo yakiendelea hapa kote nchini, kwa sababu hatuwezi sema nchi haina pesa. Na kama ni ndege tunaona zinakombolewa milioni 200 na kitu, watu wanafuruka hapa na helicopters, tunaona watu vile maisha wanavyoishi, misafara wanayoenda, magari wanayoenda, na mwananchi wa kawaida anaumia na anapata njaa. Kama ni ushuru tutoe, lakini tuone maendeleo yakikaribia na yakifanyika, and especially in the devolved governments, tuone mambo yakiendelea.
Pia chairman si mwanasiasa, kwa hivyo sisi hatutaongelea mambo ya siasa, tuongee tu mambo ya business communities, ndio? Sawa. Any question that I need to respond from?
No, it's just the day.
Okay. Sawa sawa. Siku ya leo tuna furaha sana watu wa Nakuru kwa vile mmekuja kumpokea ndugu yenu. Kama mnavyojua, watu husema ya kwamba wega umaga na mushie, ama yale mazuri yanatoka kutoka nyumbani. Na vile mmejitokeza na kuja kumshangilia ndugu yenu na kumpa hata baraka. Tunawashukuru sana. Asante kwa wazee wote ambao wamekuwa hapa, asante kwa bishops ambao wamekuwa hapa, asante kwa ndugu na dada zetu, na hata watu ambao wametoka pale Maji Mazuri, na watu wote, hata watu wa kutoka Mzee Wanyama. Nyinyi wote mmekuja hapa ili tukaweza kumshangilia ndugu yetu na hata kumpea baraka na kumwambia kwamba mahali ambapo unapitia, we are backing you up. So our brother Bishop elect, tunakushukuru sana hata kwa kubali kuja kupatana na watu wa nyumbani na hata kupokea baraka za watu wa hapa. Tunasema ya kwamba Mungu aende na mbele na kukufungulia milango, na tunasema we are backing you and we are behind you. Na pia watu wa Nakuru, tunahakikisha ya kwamba Nairobi tutakuja kwa wingi. Kama tulivyosema, watu ni wengi sana ambao watakuja JCM, and we are hoping ya kwamba pia mmetuandalia mahali ambapo tunaweza kuketi kama watu wa nyumbani. May God bless you so much and thank you so much for coming.
The choice of them joining in a church platform. Remember, they can meet even in a funeral. Yeah, there have been funerals here. They can engage. There have been events. They have been organizing some, events in Nyeri, some youth events. There have been other. They can even have a closed door meeting. Yes, this meeting can still be. And with that, with the event being a church event, what do you expect? What is the tone of leaders that are gonna speak there? It can't be chaos. It can't be throw words, because that's also not that's not Uhuru Kenyatta's fashion of doing things. By the way, Uhuru Kenyatta is not that kind of a person. So you expect a bit of it, and then the other understanding, the other angle to it is the presence of Mama Ngina. So why would Mama Ngina be there? By the way, she rarely makes public appearance. She rarely makes public appearance. This is an event that I'm going to follow, so make sure you subscribe to this channel. I will make sure I'll answer these questions. We'll make sure that when this event happens, we will try to answer these questions on who then makes it there. This is the probable list, the guest list that have been put out there. But we want to see who will go there, what will be his speech, and what about it. And I'm also paying attention to Mama Ngina, because yes, she can also go as a Kenyan. Of course, there is no problem. But this event where Ruto, where Gachagua, everyone is there, it will attract a lot of attention. Now, what are Uhuru Kenyatta's political cards on table? What are Uhuru's cards on table? Because one thing you cannot wish away from it is that the politics in it. There have been a discussion. The Mount Kenya is in rumbles. Everyone is drawing on his side. Everyone is pulling on his side. And it's very clear that something is cooking here. I am seeing Uhuru Kenyatta taking the political yardstick from Mount Kenya ahead of 2027. The first card on table is that you take the political yardstick in Mount Kenya, on Mount Kenya politics, and then after taking it, you'll have many options. Then you choose which one depending on which interest it will serve. After taking that yardstick, you can consolidate Azimio around Haki coalition. You can consolidate. Or you can still take it and release the team still to hit William Ruto. But on 2027, I agree, and of course, this is not something you can deny. You cannot write off Mount Kenya in the political dispensation of this country. You cannot write them off. The 3 million votes, guys, you cannot write them off. And those votes are a very big. Sometimes even when we see the likes of Mutahi Kahiga talking about them and we want to say he's blackmail, they're saying the truth. And that is the truth. Chebukati announced that Ruto had 7.1. And then in Mount Kenya, he got 3 million. Let's reason. Then out of the 6 regions, he got 4.1. You know, so that's why you cannot write it home. That vote is big. I was just telling someone, if Rigathi deputizes Kalonzo and Raila fails to be on ballot, Ruto will be home. Ruto will lose. I was just telling someone, Ruto will lose. Because if Raila fails to be in the ballot, Raila have an obligation to support Kalonzo. Yes. And Gachagua makes his way there. The 3 million from there, with this blunders Ruto is making in Nairobi and these cities, and then you bring Kalonzo, and Kalonzo sanitizes Rigathi, Ruto will be home. Ruto will be loose. In a light note. Now, the other political card on table is closing ranks with Rigathi, then step back and leave Rigathi to run the show. You know, one thing that Rigathi wants is just the blessing of Kenyatta family. That is what he wants. There is a 13, more than, I don't believe there are 13, there could be 20% that voted for Raila Odinga in Mount Kenya. He wants that vote. He wants that Uhuru blessing in the, you know, Uhuru had that. He wants that Kenyatta family blessing. Then after getting it, Uhuru has an option. No, look here, I don't want to get involved in this. I just want to sit back, but with my blessing, you run the show. And he has started doing it. The other card is the handshake. Uhuru will still push a handshake with Rigathi to pile pressure on Ichung'wa and Moses Kuria camp. If Uhuru reconciles with Rigathi, then do you think Ichung'wa and Moses Kuria will have any reason to attack Uhuru or to attack any other person? There will be no need. There will be no need. And that would put a bit of some pressure, because what Mount Kenya needs is reconciliation. And after handshaking Rigathi, Uhuru again pulls the same thing and then handshakes Moses Kuria, gets Kimani Ichung'wa and the others, then Tech says, you know, is in charge. So that will still work in the better interest, because I think if you have a helicopter view of the kind of politics, things happening in Mount Kenya without bias, there is a secret card to divide Mount Kenya. You don't want to agree with it, you want to call it tribalism, whatever you want to call it, but at the end of the day, the split is there. There is a very clear point to split Mount Kenya, and that's what maybe they might have realized on that. The other card is remotely drag Rigathi to join the Jeremiah Kioni camp as a buffer zone if he opts out of UDA. He doesn't have a party. He doesn't have a party. So if he opts out of UDA, the option is coming this side. And people have really raised concerns. I've even seen Sassen Berere saying that they are so cagey about Rigathi Gachagua's move. So that's my take, guys. Let's look at it. And we will make sure to subscribe, because we will exclusively cover that event and just ensure what really played out there. Thank you.